Hello, guys. Welcome back to the Slide City Podcast, man. Thank you so much for tuning in. It is episode 288. Welcome to the show. It is December 18th, 2025, and today we are live, coming at you from a new studio. And as always, I'm in my fresh fit, but it's not fresh and fit because I got a little more class in that. But, you know, today we got a couple of things to talk about. I've been sitting here scheming like an evil villain. I've been sitting here scheming, plotting, because last night I watched Gachiakuta, right? And everybody knows about that anime. They know about it. They know that anime is the type of anime that will turn you into an evil villain, like a Jabber arc type of a situation. Once you watch Jabber one time, you will turn into an evil villain who has dreads going down his back and goes around trying to destroy humanity. And so I watched Gachiakuta, I watched Jabber, and the thing about that is never in my life have I seen a portrayal of black anime characters to this level, to this degree. Not since like Cannon Busters, not since like, okay, they had Afro Samurai, but now they got a whole. We haven't saw a mainstream, the main show. This is the main. Gachiakuta is the main anime right now that everyone's watching, like Naruto, like. And don't even get me started on Naruto. Naruto was a messed up show. I feel like Naruto was the most evil anime of all animes. And Dragon Ball Z, those are evil animes. Tell me why they took away this whole man's planet, Vegeta. Vegeta was the good guy. They took away his whole planet, made all his people slaves. And then they expect him to walk around happy. He's over there mad. He's mad for a reason. He's trying to blow things up. Okay, Naruto, on the other hand, y'all took everybody with red eyes and put them all into one location and said, we don't want nobody to start rebelling. You put everybody with red eyes in one location and told them to kill everybody who has red eyes. If that is not the most evil stuff I've heard in my life. So now we got a new Japanese author who is a fantastic person, a fantastic woman. I saw the author, and once you see the author, you're going to be like, oh, okay, I see why she is down with black people, okay? Like, she could fit in. If she's in a room with black people, she could fit in. Even though she barely speaks English, she could fit in, okay? But, okay. And she, most of the characters got dreads. They're clearly black, okay? And I'm tired of people talking about all these anime characters. They've been debating for their life. They've been trying to swear over everything that they love that certain cartoon characters are not black characters. When you look at Piccolo, my man, when you look at Piccolo, try to tell me that Piccolo is not a black man. Try to tell me that. Look, when you look at Patrick from SpongeBob, try to tell me that that is not a black man. Try to tell me that that's not a black man, bro. Okay, look. Okay, let's name another one. Okay, we can go down the list. Okay, what other animes do y'all like? Y'all like Jujutsu Kaisen? Okay, let's look at Gojo. Okay, Gojo got white hair with white eyebrows. I'd say he's an albino black man. I say he's an albino. Who else do you know that got their hair able to stick up like this all over their hair? Besides black people, I don't know. So whenever people start fighting for their life, trying to make the black characters on these animes and mangas turn into non-black characters, I get a little bit confused. Okay. Now, what's been going on besides Gotcha Yakuza being goated, being the number one show in the entire cartoon community? What else has been going on is there's an individual by the name of Iron Mouse, right? And they're not a mouse. They're not made of iron. Well, maybe their computer hardware is made of iron. That might be what they're talking about. But there's a woman by the name of Iron Mouse, and she has a problem, right? She goes behind a computer screen and pretends to be a cartoon character in real life. So she'll have a man wearing a suit walking around with a computer monitor saying, "This is me." And on that computer monitor is a cartoon girl. Looks pretty young. Now, the thing about this is that everything was fine and dandy until someone tried to have an interaction with her in the real world, right? And I've never seen people have interactions with individuals who are in a computer monitor for their entire existence of who they are. I've never seen this happen. So whenever somebody tries to come up and say, "Hi, how are you doing?" to this person who is a computer monitor person, you start to realize that there's a whole different world that certain people live in compared to the real life world that we live in. And so whenever some kids came up to this Iron Mouse girl, who, I call her a girl, but some people say she's in her 40s, but she's role-playing as a 12-year-old girl that's a cartoon, I don't know. We got to figure it out. Somebody needs to put down into the comments what Iron Mouse really is. Is she a 40-year-old? What is she? What is she really? Like, what is she, the real person? Okay? Because most of the time, whenever you see a 12-year-old girl on the internet dancing around that's a cartoon girl on Twitter, you'll look up their IP address, you look up who they are, and you find out their name is George. And then you find out they're a 45-year-old man named George. And I'm not saying that that's what Iron Mouse is. I don't know that individual, but it was a bit surprising to find out that she's one of the people who are hiding behind a face. Because I heard the name I've heard the name Iron Mouse. I thought that was a rock band. I thought they make rock music and they enjoy their time on the stage rocking out, making music. But she doesn't make rock music. She asks for money online as a online beggar. So in the online beggar community of Twitch, there is an event that they have called the Streamer Awards. And so, like I said, there's a couple kids from the Streamer Awards who are also streamers, who are kind of famous. And they walked up to her and said, "How are you doing? So, are you a real person, or what's going on?" I'm like, "Because you have a person holding a monitor with a cartoon girl on it." And, I mean, clearly your voice isn't a 12-year-old girl. You don't have a 12-year-old girl voice. It sounds like you have one of those filters on that changes your voice to a young person's voice. So I'm trying to figure out what's going. So how are you doing, and where are you really? Are you at home, or where are you at? So just by the simple question of where are you at, she says she gets scared for her life and she's been shaking. Now, this is where she's messed up. This is where her problem begins. And really, her problem begun a long time ago. You see, the minute that you decide to put yourself onto a camera and it's not really yourself, but you try to get famous as a cartoon that can be edited and it can be recreated and manipulated as much as you want, no one ever sees the real you. So whenever you're asked about the real you in live TV in real time, that's whenever panic ensues. And so these people just ask where she's from, and she doesn't want to answer the question. She basically is taken aback. She's basically gasps. She's, oh my gosh, they asked where I'm really at. Well, you got a man in a business suit holding a computer monitor, and you got a little cartoon girl on the screen, and you're saying that you're the girl. The first question I would ask is, who's behind the cartoon? So what happens is, after the show, she goes up and she says, oh my God, I was scared for my life. I was shaking and trembling. She was shaking and trembling from her bedroom, hundreds and maybe thousands of miles away, where nobody can do anything to her. That just means you got social anxiety. Just do you tremble when you go to the grocery store and you start scanning your groceries and you see that the price is going up? The price is over $50. I'm scared. I'm trembling for my life. See, this is what happens. I want to go to the grocery store with the real Iron Mouse. The prices of groceries are inflating in real time, and the prices of plums, which plums are my favorite fruit. If you don't know, if you get me plums for my birthday, I'm going to remember your birthday. You might get sent a gift. But I went to buy plums the other day. And I said this before. But plums, the prices of plums, I went to buy a bag of plums. It was about $40 for a bag of plums. You fill the bag up, $40. I want to see Iron Mouse. I'm going to say, yeah, let's fill up the bag. Come on, Iron Mouse. Come on. Look, it's just some food. And I'm not even going to use her wallet. I don't even use her credit card. How are you feeling, Iron? How are you feeling? I'm trembling and shaking. I love to see that. But like I say, she's probably going to go MIA. She's probably going to go missing because she's about to just get off of the internet because she's probably tired and fed up of everybody responding to her and reacting to what she's done. She's basically been like blackballed from the Twitter community, the TikTok, or all of the internet. She's got fans, but the majority of normal people who don't watch little cartoon children, they do not like what she did. I would keep it 100. They do not like what she did. And the same with, they don't like what Ariana Grande and her black handler from Wicked has been doing. Ariana Grande has a handler who is also the co-star in the Wicked movie with her. And what's funny about that is that Ariana Grande, before Wicked, and her co-star, the black woman, the co-star, they both looked amazing. They were both beautiful. They were great. They were in shape. They were healthy, had good mental health. And then I saw what happened is that the whole Wicked movie happened, and then all of a sudden, they don't look like themselves. They're not acting like themselves. They're moving a little different than what they moved before. And everybody's pointing it out. right? If you look at a video of how they've been acting, right? All you got to do is just, if you could decide to go in an interview with Ariana Grande and her co-star, just ask them a question. Ask them any question, just basic questions. So, how are you doing today? Let's talk about your movie. You wore a great looking dress in that movie. Wow, I like the dress. That co-star, that black girl, is gonna grab Ariana. So, oh my God, what are you trying to do to her? What are you talking about? You see, and all that handler energy, it's just exuding all over Ariana Grande. And she's accepting it, and she's becoming this little, somebody who is very accepting towards that overprotective energy. She acts, the co-star of that movie acts like a overprotective father who doesn't let her daughter go out on dates with boys, right? And the first time she goes into this interview, every interview she goes out with is like going out with a new guy. Nobody wants to see their own daughter going out with all these different guys, every couple weeks. Just stick to one guy, and maybe I won't, crouch all over you, huddle all over you, and try to rip you away from the cameras, right? They got veins popping out of their neck. They got the veins coming out the side of their head. They look completely different before and after Wicked. So, and this is the reason why you'll never see me in a movie. You'll never see my children in movies. You'll never see anybody associated with me in a movie, because acting in movies takes a toll on your mental health, and it changes you to a completely different person. Before and after the movie, you're going to be completely different. You're going to be completely different, right? And don't get me started on these other actors. Don't get me started on the other actors, bro. If you've seen Kevin Hart before and after Soul Plane, do you know how much... Bro, look at Kevin Hart on Soul Plane. In Soul Plane, I liked that movie because I was a kid when I watched it. I thought it was hilarious. I thought that was a hilarious movie. But he was a normal guy during Soul Plane. He was normal. And then right after that movie, his career starts exploding. He starts going crazy, right? And at that point, he starts treating everybody like he does not care about nothing. And he's changed recently in the last few years. Now he's acting more humble. But when he first got famous, he thought he was the short king. He thought he was the 5-foot-tall king of England who's walking around trying to take over everybody. One of those short rulers, right? He has to jump up to sit into the king chair. And so, like I say, Kevin Hart, he's going to be mad that I talked about this. But, it's all love. Because I used to be short too when I was 12, but now I'm a little bit older, so not, it matches. It matches. So what else is going on in the world? There's a lot going on in the world, and it's my job to talk about it, bro. Because people are not understanding that people need to start calming down based on how much all this information. We're in a time where there's too much information, and people are absorbing all this information and absorbing everything at once, and they don't know how to sit down for 5 minutes and be still and be calm and just relax. Because there's so many things that can shift your emotions. that it's actually ridiculous, right? And the problem with this is that so many people are in relationships at this time where they're constantly bombarded with emotion shifting content, and immediately they take that out on their significant other. They'll get emotionally elevated or emotionally distraught from what they see online every 5 minutes, and then they go on a date and they're already in this completely opposite mood of how they're supposed to be acting, right? I mean, you're experiencing some technical difficulties there, right? So things, I guess the computer starts getting hot. You know, I gotta stand up. You don't want me to overheat. I'm wearing a sweater. Got long hair now. I can't overheat. But like I said, there's overabundance of information. People are processing all this information. They're seeing videos. They're getting their emotions swayed way to the top of their emotional charts, and then they're getting swayed to the bottom of their emotional charts, right? And when people in relationships, they're dealing with these peaks and these valleys with all the stuff going on in real life, it causes them to be in this whole cycle to where they get upset at their other person. They get upset at their significant other. They get upset. Or they get extremely happy and wanting to see them. And it's based on the stuff that they're seeing online and the information they're taking in. And sometimes people need to take a step back and breathe before they speak to their significant other, before they go on a date, before they, because people don't need to be taking everything out on their significant other. Because that's a problem we have in today's society, right? And see, what people have been doing recently is they've been going missing in action. They've been going MIA. They've been going MIA because they've been going through so much mental things. They decided to go MIA, right? And I approve of going MIA in certain circumstances. I approve of going MIA within the first 2 months of y'all dating. And I'm talking about MIA for a short amount of time. You can go MIA for 5 days, right? It's a very short thing, right? But there's people, you go MIA for a month. She gonna be gone. She gonna be out of there. Unless you're the greatest thing on this earth, unless you're the greatest person on God's green earth, the person you talking to is gonna be gone. If you disappear from me for a month, for 30 days, I'll be out. I'm gone. Right? I mean, and the thing about that is, as long as you are speaking about it beforehand, before you just disappear, if you're gonna go MIA, you're gonna have to tell them, like, the thing that I do when I'm talking to people is sometimes I don't answer the phone. I don't use the phone, and I'm telling you beforehand, right? Because it's the thing about this, man. You gotta if you want to be able to do the things that you want to do in life and still have time to deal with the person you're in a relationship with, or you just started dating, right? You got to be able to talk about what's going on, the things that you decide, the way that you structure relationships before you start dating a person, right? And so that's the only thing I can say to people who's, dealing with all these videos, all these influences going on Twitter, and then you're completely like, what what is going on in the world right now? You're going to the highs and the lows, and people are just left confused. But I was gonna tell y'all something else, was that if people don't know how to date people anymore. If they've lost the ability to date, like, This is an ability people had 1,000 years ago. They knew how to go out and just, okay, we're gonna be together, right? And it probably was beneficial that nobody had cars. When you got horses, you only talking to this one person, and you can guarantee they not about to go fly out to Cancun with Jeff Bezos, okay? But the time as a whole we're in a different time, right? We're not in the same time where people were getting married and they were married and they were with each other for their whole life, like the way marriage started 1,000 years ago. So now when you see people, the way that they do in marriages is that they kind of just dating them, and then they're never really getting married. They move in together after about 2 months, and then they're just saying, okay, we're together now. And they're kind of just stuck in a relationship, or they're stuck in a situationship. People are getting in situationships and calling it marriage in 2025. That's what they're doing. But man, the thing about this, people are going around dating, and hold on. I'm sitting here when you're trying to figure out what I'm doing when I'm looking down. I'm reading the chat, trying to figure out what people are suggesting things to talk about. I'm like, somebody said in the chat that you should go missing in action on her in the first couple months that y'all are crushing, right? I partially agree. I partially disagree, right? I can't make an opinion on that. I partially agree. I partially disagree. If you do go MIA when y'all are crushing, the person you dealing with is really gonna want to be with you. Like if y'all been crushing for like some months, that person you dealing with is gonna be upset for one. But then when they do see you, they gonna be mad happy. But you better have a good excuse, bruh. You better have a good excuse. And that's why I say you have to make these excuses beforehand. So there's a balance. And then I do disagree on going missing in action when you're trying to talk to somebody that you're interested in, because that shows that you're not interested in them. And like I said, I would leave. If we're not living in the 1600s, I would be gone. And if we were living in the 1600s, I would talk to the farmer across the street. I would walk across the street, talk to the person who's growing crops, growing vegetables. That would be it for me. And what's crazy about relationships is the minute that you introduce your girl that you're talking to your homies. The moment you introduce the girl you're talking to your homies, your girl is going to be gone. The moment you introduce her to the homies, she's going to be gone. If she sees your homies often, like more than one time, and she starts asking, oh, so where are your homies? So where's George and Jeff and Richard? Where are they? The more and more you let your girl talk to the homies, she's going to be morally falling in love with them more than you. She's going to be trying to hang out in group sessions and hang out with you and all the homies. That never works. So if you 16 and you're watching this and you're wondering Why my girl is gone? Where is she at? Why is she not answering the phone? You should check your homie's text and see if she's with y'all, but is she with your mans? She might be with your mans. Your girl might be with your mans. That's the type of situation we're living in. Now, like I say, the other thing about, podcasting is that I'm in a new studio right now. Everybody knows we're in a new studio. You can see it. You can see it. We got a little TV background now, a little different. We got a little better microphone. This microphone got a bigger pop filter, so when I start spitting, the microphone's not gonna catch on fire this time. If you will see me do a freestyle, the whole booth might be on fire, right? But I won't do a freestyle today. I won't do a freestyle. But they wanted me to do a freestyle that, people be asking that. They say, do the freestyle, right? I think freestyle should be left in like 2019. Every time I see the Cypher videos on YouTube, I get disappointed, bro. I get absolutely disappointed. Like, these little they be doing these ciphers, having people rapping, and every person on the cipher be garbage. Even the ones that are like lyrical, or the ones that know how to rap, they're still garbage to me. And I think it's like that for everybody. Like, they see rappers and they're like, bro, that shit is like, that shit is cringe. That shit is like, nobody wants to see or hear a person rap. Like, okay, let's talk about music. I can listen to SZA. I can listen to Leon Thomas. I can listen to the singers sing melodic type of things. But then even when I hear good rappers, I just don't want to listen to it no more. Now, if they play it in a club, let's say they play Playboy Party in a club, okay? They start playing it in the club. I'm a vibe to it, right? You're in a different atmosphere because you're supposed to be turned up in a club. But on my own time, I can't listen to rap music. I can listen to it to just be like, okay, I listen to it, but if you play Ice Spice for me when we're in the car, you're getting your aux privileges took. It's something crazy I saw was Ice Spice has been on the SpongeBob movie, and she made a completely clean song on the SpongeBob movie when every other song she made was about her ass cheeks. And now she made a song about SpongeBob, about sitting there being child friendly and PG. Bro, why would they choose her to be on a children's movie? I mean, maybe I give her the benefit. I give the creators of SpongeBob the benefit of the doubt. Maybe you're just looking at the audience like me, who like SpongeBob. You say, okay, there's a lot of grown people who like SpongeBob. SpongeBob is just a funny show. It's just funny. It's hilarious. But I don't go around watching the new episodes of SpongeBob. I don't go watching. I don't go and turn on Nickelodeon. I don't go and seek out SpongeBob to watch. That's crazy. I watched the dubs of SpongeBob. They got hood dubs. They got hood SpongeBob. That is A1. Whoever's making the hood SpongeBob, y'all need to get an award. Y'all need to get a Medal of Honor. Y'all been troopers. Y'all been trooping for a while. And yeah, I like that. I like it. Man. But for real, who chose Ice Spice of all people to be in the SpongeBob movie? Y'all could have chose anybody. Y'all could have chose who's a good musician. You could have chose Leon Thomas. He was on Nickelodeon. Leon Thomas was on Nickelodeon. So I finished playing The Last of Us. Last of Us was a good game, bro. It was a good game until they killed Joel. Why would they make the perfect game, the perfect graphics, the perfect mechanics, The Last of Us 2? This was the perfect mechanics, the perfect everything. And it was enjoyable playing as the girl that killed Joel. It was enjoyable, but it was not supposed to happen. You're not supposed to kill Joel. That's crazy. You're supposed to be playing as Joel, but with good mechanics and good graphics. Because The Last of Us 1, that was good. It was pretty good. I'm not going to say it was amazing. It was pretty good. The Last of Us 2, they upgraded everything. Now look, The Last of Us 1 was spectacular for what it was if you've never played The Last of Us 2, because when The Last of Us 2 comes out and you got the options to have all these new weapons, you like, man, how can I even play The Last of Us 1? Man. But no, I love The Last of Us, and it's hard to just take back my fandom of that game, bro. It's hard to take back my fandom. But they killed Joel, and I'm always going to hate Sony for that. I'm always going to hate PlayStation for that. You can't kill Joel. That's crazy. But they're making a new game, though. Sony and PlayStation, the people who made Last of Us, they're making a new game about some girl who's in, like, intergalactic space, and she has, like, a bald head. You could have had a male character, but I think they've been going down the route of, like, I want all female characters. I want all LGBT characters. Which they got criticized for. If you want a character, make a character that's like a male, because I like male characters when I'm playing video games. I'm not racist. I'm not sexist or whatever. But most of the time when you're playing as a woman character, it's kind of like, what's that game where you just stare at the back of that girl? You're just looking at her back side the whole time. And then the camera starts circling around her and all you see is cheeks. Like, nobody can focus on the actual game unless you have an ugly male character who's completely rough and rugged, like a Joel character. Then I can focus on the storyline. At least I can focus on the storyline then. But you know, what else has been going on, man? How are y'all doing? I need y'all to tell me, how are y'all doing? Tell me everything that's been going on right now, because we're living in a strange time. We're living in a strange world. The AI has now become sentient. The AI is now alive, walking around. There's robots walking around and trying to greet people on the streets and pick up trash. And people are going around and just harassing robots. And I've seen people yelling at robots. I've seen people picking up robots and trying to throw them in the trash can. I've seen robots running away from people on the sidewalk of New York. But, like, New York is a weird place. LA and New York is a weird place. It's like, it's not a real... Those aren't real environments. They're kind of like fictional. They're fictional scenes. If you live in, let's say you live in Houston. If you live in Houston, it's a little bit more normal, right? Live in Houston for a little while. Just live in Houston. Try living in Houston. Try living in Dallas. Try living in Austin. Try living in... I was going to say try living in Tampa. Tampa, Florida is not a real place. Miami is not a real place. I feel like the 3 biggest cities are not real places. Those are GTA servers. If you go to Miami, it's like you spawn in Miami. You'll have bad BBL chicks spawn in. Bam, they just spawning in all over the place. You'll walk into a Walmart in like Tampa, and you'll see a girl with a giant BBL with the glasses that are like this. They like this big on her face. Like, and people only wear those type of glasses in Miami and in Los Angeles. People don't even wear those glasses in New York. It's too cold outside. They worried about getting the little fur and tucking that in on the hoodie part. I saw a girl actually who said, "You've been wearing these fur hoodies the wrong way your whole life. You know the little fur on the outside of the hood?" I saw a girl who said, "You're actually supposed to tuck it in and put that fur on your head. And that's how you wear your hood. You tuck that fur in on your head." And a lot of people been looking at her and saying, "Bro, that sounds like it's correct. Why would you wear the fur outside of your head? You want me to go around and wear fur outside of my head when it's 30-degree weather, it's 20-degree weather? I'm going to wear the fur on my, because it gets on your ears. And now you're protected from all directions, right? You protected from all, you protected 360. See, now, the thing about this, man, people have so many hacks to life and the way that they do things. It's actually crazy. It's crazy to me, right? Like my hack, I wear running shoes. I wear running shoes all the time. And people ask me, "Why don't you wear basketball shoes? Why don't you wear these Balenciagas? Why don't you wear the Dior's and why don't you wear these Jordans that people are shooting each other over like Hot Pockets? Why don't you wear these specially looking shoes, bro?" I wear running shoes because sometimes you gotta run, or you gotta pick your foot up and kick you gotta kick somebody. You gotta for real kick somebody real in an ungentlemanly way. You gotta really kick somebody. And sometimes you just gotta actually be wearing running shoes. And it's like, I'm ready to scrap all the time in any shoe, but there's been a moment where my shoes have flew off of my feet because I got loose shoes on. I got loose shoes on, and I got people trying to scrap, and I got loose shoes on, bro. And you feel your feet sliding whenever you confronting somebody. It's the worst thing. To feel your feet sliding out of your shoe. So if you ever try to fight somebody, bro, your feet, if you're wearing those specially like, "Oh, I'm gonna look like a pretty boy," your feet will scrape across that cement and scrape all the meat off of your foot. So I'm telling you, I always wear running shoes because sometimes I gotta run. And anywhere you go, you're good with running shoes, bro. Anything that any situation somebody tries to put you in, you're good with running shoes. So, really, it depends on the fit. If you're trying to pick up a girl, the first thing a girl ever looks at is your shoes. So if you're going to wear running shoes, you got to know what kind of pants to wear with your shoes. You got to know what kind of fit goes with the shoes, bro. Most people, they don't understand, right? If you're gonna try to pick up a guy, and I know a lot of girls are going around picking up guys, they already wear running shoes. All girls wear running shoes all the time. So why are guys not wearing running shoes? Every girl that I've seen is wearing tights and running shoes, right? But here's the thing. If I was to wear basketball shoes, or you know what? I think people should bring back football cleats in real life. If I was ever to scrap somebody in football cleats, it would be over for them. Like, people, it's like you already got a weapon on your shoes. I'll be clinking around the store, the grocery store. I'll be clinking around the grocery store. Like, I'd be clanking around the grocery store like, yeah, I'm just shopping for some lettuce. But if y'all want to scrap, you know what's going to happen, bro. Oh, man. But here's the thing, man. Shoes don't even matter. So that's my main thing. Is that I don't care about shoes, because right now I'm focused on my mission, my priorities, my goals. And when you're trying to impress your significant other or somebody who you think you're going to date, you know, your goals get put into the back burner. And so sometimes you got to just wear what you got to wear that gets you to the bag, right? Because the bag is, that's my top priority. All right. So let me tell you, the bag is so much of my top priority that if you catch me in the streets doing the Soulja Boy with a TikTok camera, just know I'm getting to the bag. If you catch me in the streets and you see me dancing, knees all the way out, jump down to the ground, and I'm doing my TikTok dance, just know I'm getting to the bag. And this is not, it's not sad when you get to the bag, okay? Sometimes you gotta get to the bag, okay? But here's the deal. I gotta tell y'all, man, that again, I'm about to get to the studio. I'm trying to get to, you know, working on, I'm trying to check out this new studio, see how it sounds, the acoustics. I need to play the guitar into a good environment, and, you know, have my sound reverberating right. So, you know, so I'm gonna tell you right now. Here we go. I love y'all, bro, and I appreciate y'all for letting me do this, man, because y'all are real, okay? And I hope everybody enjoyed the show, because that's what you're here for. That's what we're here for, right? And I'm happy I got to spend the time with you, man. And like I say, you can follow me at the After Party RN, right? So make sure that y'all like, comment, and subscribe, right? And damn, I sound like I'm a country trucker. I say a like, comment, and subscribe. Well, make sure y'all like, comment, and subscribe, brother. And like I say, remain vigilant.